Hey guys, it's Yvette, and I have started receiving the Stitches of Love, like, I think they're calling them like Itsy Bitsies, and from what I understand, you can buy like this little stand that they sell. I'll have to look into that because I definitely need one. I don't have one yet, but you buy a little stand, and then you make these things called Itsy Bitsies. And the one I have right now is an Itsy Bitsy Rudolph. And I have two for some reason. I have no idea why I have two. So I think I'm going to do a giveaway for one of them. But let's check out what's inside. It's been a little bit since I've done these. And you guys know it's like, I like applique to a certain point. And I think I really wanted to give these a go because they're little, right? So it's just like a little itsy bitsy one. And so it should be pretty simple. Here's the little package. And let's see. I think it's something I might be able to keep up with every month, just depending. Okay, so they already give you all of the fusibles, and it's already got the fusible on the back. So really, you just need to take the fusible backing off, set it where it's supposed to go by looking at the picture. You iron it down, and then basically you can just put some little stitches around to just make sure it's really held down. And they give you all of the pieces for like binding and stuff, right? And even your batting that you'll need. And this is the backing. And they give you some trim, right? And then you get this cute little pattern, and it tells you on the back what's included, so that if you ever wanted to make it again, you can just cut these things out or get these things, and there you go. So right here are all your instructions. It's very simple. And then on the inside, they always give you all the pieces. So if you're going to make it again, you can. You just can photocopy it a few times so that you can get all the little pieces. And you guys, that's it. So let's see if we can put this together real quick. Okay guys, so here I am with the instructions, and it does say here that there are video tutorials available online. So if you want that, you just go to stitchesoflovequilting.com and look for the video tutorials. Okay, so let's read through the instructions. Number 1, using the applique placement guide and a light box, which I have never used a light box for this particular thing. So I'm not really gonna, but you could if you wanted to. I don't know why you would need a light box. Anyway, arrange your applique pieces on your background fabric and iron into place. You also have one extra star applique for the backing fabric. Iron it onto your backing fabric approximately 2 inches from the bottom edge. Iron fusible batting onto the wrong side of your applique background piece. Buttonhole stitch the applique pieces and straight stitch the accent lines. Okay, I think that's, I mean, I don't even know if I know how to buttonhole stitch, guys, so I usually just straight stitch mine. So anyway, I'll show you how I do it. So 2 black buttons for Rudolph's eyes for embellishment. Place the applique top with batting onto your backing and trim down to 4 inches by 7 inches. Stitch rickrack on all 4 sides of your applique top. See rickrack placement line on the applique placement guide. Hem the 2-inch edges of your hanging sleeve by folding in 1/4 inch on both ends. Oh, that's what this is. This is a hanging sleeve. Okay, cool. Repeat. Hem the 2 inches of your hanging sleeve by folding in 1/4 inch on both ends. Repeat. Straight stitch to secure the hemmed edges. Fold wrong sides together lengthwise. Baste into place on the top back. Secure the bottom of the hanging sleeve as well. Prepare and attach your binding. This is a single fold binding to eliminate bulk at the seam. Hang your finished Itsy Bitsy Rudolph on your Ackfield wire hanger and enjoy. That's what I need to get, is the wire hanger. Okay, so reading is all great, but I have to like see things. That's me. So let me press this stuff real quick. Not the binding. I'll do that in a little bit. Let me just do these two couple pieces. Okay, so let's take our pieces out. And here is my placement guide. All right, let's see here. I'm also going to be flipping it around so that I can see. Jellybean, you can't be right here, sweetheart. Where are you going? Where are you going? That's really hot over there. No, it's really hot. Why don't you go over there, sweetheart? Yeah. It's okay. Okay. All right, so it looks like because I have to look at the picture as well. Okay, so we definitely want to put, looks to me like we want like this piece to go down first and then this over it. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so here are the antlers, and let's see. All right, hold on. It's not really cut all the way through, so I will just finish that. Is that done? Yeah, let me clean that up a little bit. Okay. All right, so we've got one, and oh, that one didn't finish either. Just gonna sort of eyeball it. It's just an antler. Okay, there we go. All right, so it looks like this one goes here and this one goes here. And then I'm going to take, this is one of the ears, maybe. Nope, I think this is his head, like that. I'm just loosely putting things down right now, guys, so don't freak out. Nothing is glued yet. All right, that looks like it's going to go over there. And this looks like it's going to go like for here somewhere. Like that maybe. I'll look at the other side to see the picture. Don't worry, guys. Okay. And then it looks like I could put his nose is going to go on top. I think I need to put this guy. This guy is going to go like this. I think I'm going to better move him. Let's move him a little bit. Okay. Sort of like that. And then his nose will go in the middle somewhere. And all right, these are the stars for, oh, that one has a whole piece not cut. Let's see. I think it goes, just gonna kind of do a straight line to there. Boop. And let's see, will this one come out? Nope, that one's not doing it either. Except it looks like it's going this way. That work? Do. Okay. Now this one, Jellybean, you are gonna give me a heart attack. Sorry, guys. All right, so one will go up here, and then another one will go on the back, and this looks like it goes up here somewhere. And then we have these little dots somewhere. Oh, it looks like it's going to go on the holly. So let's take the holly. And does that look good? Looks like it kind of tore. Hold up. I'm going to just clean that up a little bit. All right, somewhere around there. And then, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. And, okay. And there we go. So then that one will go there somewhere. And then I'm going to worry about these after. All right, so this is in general where it's going to go. Right, just by looking at that. I don't know where the leaves are. I'm not going to worry about it. It looks like there's some leaves right here. Y'all seeing that? Maybe they thought we would just do that. Oh yeah, look, it looks like we would just stitch that if we wanted to do it. Okay. Alrighty. So it looks like, because we're going to be cutting it down to, what was it, 4 by 7? It says it right here. 4 by 7. Okay. So let me get a little ruler. That's only 6.5. Where's this one I had over here? Here we go. This one will work. All right, since it's going to go down, oops, I'm like hitting the camera with my head thing. This is 5 inches, and I'm going to be cutting it down to 4. So I'm going to put it at 4.5, and then that half is going to come off. So that means I want rickrack sew line and binding seam. Okay, so it looks like it's gonna, all right. So we want all of these things to be on, right on the edge, because it looks like it's in the seam line, like pieces of it are in the seam line. So it looks like it's gonna line up right there, and then this is gonna go down to 7, and it is currently 8. So again, I'm gonna take this 1/2 inch, and it's going to go a 1/2 inch up. So I want to put the edge, let me move the, right there. Okay. Now, since that piece I know is going right there, let me just scooch everything for a minute. So that can be like my starting point, because it looks like other things are going on top of it. So let me double check this again. Oops, let's put it this way so I could see that 1/2 inch line. All right, that's a 1/2 inch, and this is a 1/2 inch. Oh, well, I gotta take this stuff off the back. Otherwise, that's gonna be a little difficult. Okay, you wanna leave the sticky stuff on. Okay, so let's see. Again, that is the 1/2 inch line. And I'm going to take it over right there, right up against that 1/2 inch line where it's going to trim. I'm going to tease it inside just a little bit to give myself a little leeway, because that's just me. Try to do the same right here. Pump it up just a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm just going to do a very, very quick little press. I didn't take my mini iron out, so I'll just do this one. Okay. That should be pretty good. I'm going to let it cool down a little bit. Okay. Now, this piece is going to hug right there, because I can see, and it looks like that's probably the next one that I want to put down. So I'm going to take the backing off. want to sort of make it so that this is lining up and this is lining up here. Even if they overlap, that's okay. Just gonna take my little ears keep hitting the camera, so I'm gonna take it off for a bit. Now, since I'm gonna have multiple layers, I don't want to keep ironing on top and on top and on top without using my pressing sheet. I think you can actually get smaller ones too, but I'm just gonna use this one. And this will just protect your fabric. I'm not touching anything. I feel like because I'm using this table, I feel like I'm just all over the place. I'm sorry, my big old head's probably in your way. Okay, so that's on pretty good. And I think the next thing I'm going to add on, I think I'll do the nose next, because I can sort of figure where that's going to be. Let's see. Okay, and let me look on the front just to get a better idea. I'm going to say it's like that. Okay, I think that's pretty close. And then I'm going to hold off on a second before ironing, though, because I want to make placements and make sure. All right, let's see. Do I put... Okay, I think I put the antlers first and then the ears. Okay. Because, hold up, which one is which? There's that one. There's that one. I think this one goes here. This one goes here up against like the curve. You see there where it's kind of like up on the curve? And I think if we take the ear, we can see that it's got like a little straight line right here on it. It's going to probably go this way. And it's on top of the antler. So I want to say it's sort of like that. That looks good to me. Okay, so let me take this off first. I'll leave that. All right, and it went there, under the ear a little bit, like that. Yep, just like that. And then I'm going to put the ear right there, because he's like right on the edge, and he goes right over. And I just sort of like feel it with my finger. Oops. That looks good. Okay, let's see what this thing says. Okay. Alrighty, so then the next part. Okay, I think that it looks to me like the ear goes on first, and it's going to go right on. There's like a little dent on the head. I'm going to put him right there. Okay. And then the antler goes right, it looks like it goes right up against it, but it looks like it goes up against it maybe like that. And then there's going to be a little, like the 2 pieces of holly right there. Okay, so let's get that down. Maybe it needs to go up a little bit. Because it just doesn't, oh, there we go. You know what? I'm just ironing that down right there. Before it can move again. Okay, and then I'm going to take the other antler. And guys, I'm basically just using common sense of looking at the picture to see which things are layered on top of each other. And that's basically all I'm doing. Is this higher up? Might be that it's higher up. Let me see. These are like this. And then that's going to go there. And it looks like it's on top. But it also looks like it's on top of you guys know I'm a perfectionist, right? Because this actually looks like it's on top of the head. Like this. Even like it's further down. And then this. So it looks like it's closer on the edge, but I think it's an illusion. But maybe not. Because if I put it that high, then these guys, this almost looks like I even put that too high. Like it should have gone, maybe that's what I messed up. Well, I could always just fix it by just pulling mine down like that. Nobody knows what it looks like except us. So then if I do that, and then that, and then this would go, well, nobody knows what that's supposed to look like either. So there we go. I think that'll look good. Okay, so let me get those down. Did I already take that off? Yes, I did. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. What does that look like? I don't know. I'm not looking at it. Let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy, people. All you people out of the world, spice up your life. Every boy and every girl, spice up your life. Okay, let's do that first. All right. And then I'm going to put, I want to just fix that a little bit. Seems like it's has a little bit of extra lip on it. Take off the lip. Goodbye, Mr. Lip. Why can't I get that? Oh. I think I'm trying to, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm gonna end up chopping half of my holly off. All right, does that go like that? I could probably come down a little bit. How's that look? That doesn't look bad. That's good. And then if I take the other one, well, maybe. Okay. And then take the other one, and it looks like it sort of comes down like this. Yeah? Maybe like that. You know what? That looks lovely to me. I try to not get them to overlap if I can. That looks, I love it. Okay, awesome. And the pressing sheet is just to help so that you don't scorch your fabric. And also if there happen to be any like glue or anything like that, it won't get on your iron. Okay, now this is the last piece. Well, no, then I have the little red guys. The little holly flowers or seeds or whatever we want to call them. Berries, holly berries, that's what it is. Do 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 do. You'd swear I'd never done this before. There it goes. Okay, looks like, how's that look? Looks like it probably goes like that. Maybe a little bit higher. That looks good. Okay. You just want to hold the iron down for, about 10 seconds. And let's see here. You see, like they didn't go all the way across. So now I've got to cut them off. I don't remember if they've done that before. It just makes me nervous on round ones. Not that it matters. I know. I know. And I would be the first one to tell you guys that. Makes me feel like I'm participating more. I'm really like bummed that I didn't get a thing to hang it on. What was I thinking? Could have had that all hung up for y'all. That one just needed to be cleaned up a little bit. I didn't do such a hot job on that one. Okay. I'll just take them off one at a time. And I mean, you can like, if it makes you feel better, you can like use tools or whatever to take these apart. I mean, I know that probably some people have some kind of tool they use. To me, like my fingernail will get it apart just fine. Do 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 do. And really just make it so it looks like that you like it, Okay, I think that looks good. Boy, this one is like, I can't get underneath the little thingy-mabob. Maybe it would be easier the other way if I turn it upside down. Or upside up. Come on. Oh, I can see it coming apart. There it goes. Ah, I got you now, buddy. You can run, but you can't hide. Okay, and looks like it just goes straight up and down. So I'm just going to, I'll put them like right there. I like them right there. And it looks like it's straight. Oh, well, maybe it has to move over to the right a little bit. Just a little. Okay. Okay guys, so look, everything is appliqued on except for, let's get the backing. And it said to put it about 2 inches where does it say that? Oh, iron it onto your backing fabric approximately 2 inches from the bottom edge. I had better luck with this way. Spoke too soon. Oh my goodness, come on. Oh my Lord. Okay. It says approximately 2 inches. I might as well just use got the ruler right here. Well, that's nice. I'm gonna put it like right there, I think. I like that. Oops. Okay. And you guys, red fabric just gets like that when it's hot, and see, it goes back down to normal. So that's fine. Don't even worry about that. Did I put this on there? Oh, I did. Okay, good. I was like, oh, I can't even remember if I attached a nose or not. Okay, so after we're gonna like go and do some stitches around, and it's just to make sure that it doesn't come off. And it just looks better once you do that. So let's see. And then after we do that, they do talk about where you can sew some eyebrows on. And then there's this like a leaf, I guess, or a branch poking out, and they have it in green right here. So let's go over to the sewing machine and get some of this done. Okay guys, so I have already changed out my thread and my bobbin. Basically what I try to do, for the most part, is I try to like use the same color thread in the top and the bottom whenever I am doing applique, just because you know, I usually do not actually have a problem with tension on my machine, but if I happen to, then you're not going to notice as much because you'll have the red, in this case, top and bottom, you know, coming in or doing whatever. So anyway, that's just what I do. And these are like little bitty things. So I'm just going to go around them really slow. And what I'll do in that sort of case is I just lower my stitch length just so that it doesn't, you don't want your stitch to be so big that it's, you know, it's like overpowering it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change mine to like 1.8. I'm not going to go crazy, just 1.8. I think that would probably be okay. All right. And I basically will just do a lot of lifting of my presser foot to turn it. Okay. And you just do the best you can to get it where it needs to be. I think I need to go a little bit smaller and do a 1.6. I'll probably just do all three as one. Taking a chance here. Oh, that's good. Yay. Oops. Alright, so now I probably will do, maybe I'll do the brown. Let me see if I can find some thread. Ah, here's a brown. Let's see. Okay, I don't already have a bobbin with brown, so I'm going to leave the red in. It doesn't look like I'm having too much of an issue with, you know, tension or anything like that. And let's see. And so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Alright, I'll probably just speed this along a little bit, guys. Okay guys, so here I am. I have finished sewing along the edges just to make sure that my pieces stay down. And they always tell you to do the buttonhole stitch. I have to admit that I am really not that great at applique. So for me, I just stitch along the edge, and that's how I do mine, and I'm fine with it, and I like it. If you know the buttonhole stitch and can do the buttonhole stitch and actually make it look decent, which I cannot, and I don't really have the patience for it right now, then please, by all means, do the buttonhole stitch. So anyway, I have mine all done, and let's see. After we finished that, it says that we want to iron the fusible batting onto the wrong side of the applique background piece. Okay. So I'm going to bring this back. And here is the back, and I'm going to fuse it onto the wrong side. And if you feel your batting, one side will have like this slightly rougher feeling on it. That is the side that's the fusible. Okay, so I'm going to put that down right in the middle. And it seems like it's longer but shorter. It's weird. Okay. I'm just waiting for my iron to be heated up. It's almost ready. There it is. And actually, I think I need to flip it over. I think I need to have this piece. I think I need to be on this side, and I'm gonna put my pressing sheet down just to be on the safe side. Especially because the batting is sticking out from under the fabric, and I don't want to get the sticky stuff from the batting onto my iron. Okay, so that's probably good. Yeah, see, it was sticking to my pressing sheet a little, so that was a good thing I did that. Okay, now it says, okay, well then it wants you to buttonhole stitch everything. Okay, no problem, but I've already done that. And then it wants me to straight stitch the accent lines, there were these two little lines for Rudolph's eyes right here, and I kind of drew them with my friction pin. And then there were there's like this green line, like a branch sort of sticking out from the side, and they do have it drawn on here as well. So it's these two little eyebrows and then the branch. And let's see. So they want us to stitch that and then also sew the little eyeballs on. Okay, the one thing I'm discovering, guys, is that applique is probably not for me. I just don't have the patience with it, to be honest. I think it's coming along just fine. It's just, yeah. But let's finish this up, because I want to finish this up. I want to, I am going to give away one of these kits, so that one of you guys who really does love applique can get it and make one of your own. Okay, so I have not put the eyeballs on because I can't find a sewing needle. I will eventually find a sewing needle and get this all done, but for now I just want to just get it put together. Okay, so I'm going to put the applique top onto the backing, and Jellybean is going to knock over the iron. It's going to be awesome. Let me move this out of his way so that he doesn't think okay, moving that out of his way. All right, so they want us to trim this down to 4 inches by 7 inches. Okay, so I think that what that means is that we are going to be taking off, I think, a 1/2 inch. Hold on, let me get my, where's my other ruler? Here we go. Okay, so it needs to be 4 inches, which would be this line here. And, well, hold on, this is, how many inches? This is 5, and we need it to be 4. So we need to take 1/2 inch off each side. So if I put my 1/2 inch line right along the edge, then I'm trimming off like just before the thing, like where my applique is. And okay. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit less because I don't like how close that is. So I'm just going to go a little bit less than a 1/2 inch. Just because I don't want it to be that close. So I'm going to like trim it there, and I can always trim off more if that's absolutely wrong. All right, and then if I flip this around and I put the 4 inches on the edge, that's going to do what? That's going to cut way too much off because I'm going to end up chopping his ear off. Okay, so I am just going to, I'm just going to eyeball this, guys, because I can't, that's too far anyway. I mean, obviously I did something wrong. But I don't want to chop off his ear. So I am going to, I am obviously, and now my iron is turning off. That's lovely. I'm just going to trim it there. I don't know. Okay. And of course it's bigger than 4 inches, but there's really not anything I can do about that. And then it's supposed to go by 7. And let's see, it is 8. All right, so I'm supposed to take a 1/2 inch off the bottom and the top. Now if I do a 1/2 inch and I'm really close to it, I'm going to go a little bit less. I mean, I'm obviously leaving them a little bit bigger than they're supposed to be, but I don't know what else to do, because where's my rickrack going to go? I obviously did a lot wrong. Okay. And let's see if I can get 1/2 inch off here and it won't mess anything up or what. I don't know. That should actually be okay. All right, so I'm gonna do the 1/2 inch on this side. Okay, so there it is. And then I'm supposed to put the rickrack on. And they want me to sew it down on all 4 sides. See rickrack placement in the placement guide. Okay, so it looks like the rickrack is supposed to go over the design, like right on the edge, I guess. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. Let's go over and sew that down. Okay, so I have sewed my rickrack on, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my hanging piece, what do they call this? Hanging sleeve, and I'm going to fold it in 1/4 inch and then 1/4 inch, and I'm going to stitch that down. That's so that I get a finished edge, and I'll do the same on the other side. And then once we have that done, we are going to fold them wrong sides together, and then we're going to pin it in place on the back of our project here to have it, you know, we'll just stitch it down right on the edge just to make sure it stays, and then it'll get caught on when we are attaching our binding. Now the binding, we are doing as a single fold binding, and it's basically put on the same way as a double fold, except that we will just take it just like this, put it down, stitch, and go all the way around, you know, fix it all up, blah blah blah. I don't making that blah blah blah. And then when we go to attach it to the other side, you'll just sort of like curl it under itself and then stitch it down. So it's basically the same thing, except it's just one layer so that it reduces bulk a bit. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I have sewed the binding on, and as I said, we're doing a single fold, so it looks a little bit different. And I kind of tried to stay close to the edge and not do 1/4 inch so that I can see my, so that I could see the rickrack underneath. And some of it did better than others. Like over here, it was just, I went really close, but I must have, the way I put the rickrack on was just different. So, you know, it looks better most everywhere else. And so just be careful when you're putting your rickrack on. Maybe don't go so close to the end as I did. So, okay, so now I'm going to finish up the binding, which means I need to combine these two pieces together. And if you, let me get... If you take a ruler and you look at the size of this strip, it's 1.5 inches. So you can see it's 1.5. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that these pieces overlap by 1.5 inches right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and just cut a little bit off. So we want them to overlap, but you don't want it to be too long. Can't be that long. So we'll still have 1.5 inches over here. All right. So then I'll take this piece and I fold it over the top. And then I'm going to take where my 1.5 is, and I am going to put the 1.5 right where I see that piece sticking out the end. Okay. And then I'm going to take a friction pen or whatever you want and mark where that 1.5 inches is, right there. And you can cut the rest of that piece off. Okay. Now, what you're going to want to do is you'll take the two pieces and you have them like this. So what you want to do though is you need to make sure you pull this up like as high as you can so that you can get these two pieces as close together as possible. So I will take this and right here at the junction, I will just put a Wonder Clip Maybe just put a couple to make sure that it stays. It should stay though, shouldn't be a problem. Now, when you're working on tiny projects like this, it's difficult. I'd be the first one to admit, anyone would be the first one, heck, there'd be like a million of us admitting that this is not easy. But what you're going to do is you have this piece here, and you're going to want to hold it like so, right? Just hanging straight down. This piece, you want to pull it out, but then you're going to take it and you're folding it on top of this side. And you want to take it, and here you are holding it straight down, just like on the right side, and you're going to flip it up and over, just like that. Okay? And then we want to pin it, wonder clip it, whatever you want to do to hold those together. And I really think that a pin would be better, because wonder clips, I love them, but they tend to sort of slide a little bit, especially if you're having like a tight, something tight like this. So I'll put one there. And then I'm going to put one here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I need to draw a line from this side to this side. You can just sort of hold it down. It's not really that difficult. And what you can do is get a general idea. So like you can see that my other piece is right here. So you just want to kind of get it generally where it needs to be. And it is nice if, I mean, these pins run, like go flat, but not flat enough sometimes. All right, so just in general, draw a line. I know this sounds crazy, but you're just trying to, you're going to kind of eyeball it anyway. And we know that that's definitely the starting point. And then as you are sewing, you know that this is your ending point. And because this is so short, I mean, there's really, if you go slow enough, you're going to be fine. So you're just going to sew from this end to this end, and this is going to make our binding. So I will be right back. I'm just going to go and sew that really quick. Okay, so as you can see, I just stitched that line right there. I got off a little bit, but I think that'll be okay. Usually isn't a problem. And so you just want to trim off about 1/4 inch from the end, so you have all of these tails come off. And I'm just going to eyeball it because it's really small. Okay, and then you take your wonder clips off. And then when you pop it back, you'll see that it matches just fine. So I'm going to just sort of press this open a little bit. Just one moment. Okay, so I have that done. And now all I want to do now is I'm going to go over to the machine and I'm going to stitch from here down to here just to finish that up. And then it'll be ready to flip over and finish the binding. Okay, so I have finished stitching it, and what I'm going to do is now you want to take it and you're going to flip it over and just sort of encourage it to, you know, push out. You're going to take your iron and you're just going to encourage it to lie flatter and open. And this is something you would do no matter what you were, what kind of binding you were attaching, okay? With this rickrack, just be careful that you're not pushing the rickrack out. You don't want to do that. And this will just help it to lie flat whenever you're attaching it on the back. Now I'm basically just using the nose of the iron to push it down. I don't have to worry about the rickrack on this side. Okay, now once you've done that, you'll just sort of flip it out to the other side. Okay. And if you'll see on this side that your little corners are nicely done. And now I have never done single fold before, so this seems like a lot of fabric. But they say that it's really cool. So I would just basically fold it in and then fold it over again and then sort of pin it down. This is what I'm going to do anyway. I've never done it before, and I'm going to probably hand stitch the back on. It just seems really big. But anyway, I'm going to fold that in, and I think it's probably just really big because I was trying to get that rickrack to show. Anyway, so you'll get that in. Maybe what you could do is, this is what I'm going to do. Let's see. I'm going to push it down at least to there. And I'm just going to iron it just to keep it so that it'll encourage it to stay that way. You don't have to do it all the way. Just the long edges that'll tend to want to, you know, do their own thing. Well, this one didn't really stay down that well. Let's do it a little bit more. Okay. I'll do that all the way around if I can. All right, let's just see how I'm gonna do this. All right, so if I'm gonna fold this over, and I'm just gonna use my binder clips, or my Wonder Clips. Sorry, I keep saying binder clips. I've worked in an office too long. I'm gonna try to do it like that. It's really weird to me. All right. Now, when you're doing the corners, fold it in, and here's the thing. When you are pinning down and you want to miter these corners, okay? Push down, start from the work around counterclockwise. And then when you're doing the other side, like the perpendicular side, you're going to fold this little corner down, and then you're going to flip this one over, and really with your fingers, your eyeballs, everything, you want to try to pull. And listen, sometimes you have to mess with it a little bit. That's okay. Mess with it now so that whenever you're sewing it, it looks fine. See? And then that looks okay. You want to make sure these two little pieces right in the corner are matching up. Pin that down. All right. Okay, and when you are attaching your binding, you want to sew clockwise, okay? Because what'll happen is right here in this corner, when you start on the bottom and then flip it over to the top, then you want to stitch this way to keep this part laying flat as your sewing machine is going around the bend. If you sewed it this way, then this flap would tend to want to come up, right? And this way you pin counterclockwise and you sew clockwise. I actually learned that from someone else, and someone someday is going to learn it from you. So I'm just saying, you know, we all have this knowledge and we get it from each other. So, you know, don't think I'm coming up with this, because I learned it from somebody else. And again, doing the same thing where I'm just kind of making that little corner right there match up, and then I'm going to pin it down and continue around. I guess you don't really need to iron it down, because I didn't finish ironing this side, and it's doing fine, especially because you're gonna, since we're doing it by hand, rolling it under by hand, I guess it doesn't matter so much. I got that little corner right where I want it. Okay. Okay. I have kitty cats all over it. All right, so there it is, and this is what it's going to look like whenever we're all done. As you can see, I went a little bit too far down with my rickrack right there, but everywhere else I think it looks really cute, and I'm very happy with it. And as soon as I find a needle, I will put the little eyeballs on. And there you go. That's our project. So I will run a giveaway for the one extra that I have, and one of you guys will get it. So why don't you put a little comment down below and tell me just how much you love applique. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.